what we have to do is check and see how well the stone sits in the ring. Now, as you can see, it's not sitting very well at all. It's up on this side, it's over that side there. So we now have to make a few minor adjustments to the bottom of the claws so that the stone sits in nicely. For that we use a ball burr. Now, size of ball burr you use depends on the claw. You don't want to use something that big on a claw that small. So we discard that. That one is a little bit small for me, but it's personal preference. I would go with that one there. That looks like it's going to get a nice rounded shape. Check how thick the claw is on the side. There's plenty of room there. Now that one goes into our drill. I'll tell you about this little blue disc later. It's wonderful. I love it. Now, there we go. Checking the side. Yep. On this one. A little bit more. Yeah, it's coming in nicely. Yep. You may have to go a little bit higher on these, but we'll do this and see what the stone looks like then. Okay, let's have a look how far. Best to do a bit, stop, check, do a bit, stop, check. Very hard to put the gold back in once you've taken it out. Okay, yeah. A little bit higher, a little bit more out. So this one needs to go definitely higher. Let's have another look. It's slowly getting there. Actually, it might already be there. That looks pretty good. Up a little bit on that side, as you can see. You want to try and level that off as much as possible. So what we've got to do is check where it's sitting up. I think this claw here needs to go down a little bit, so take a bit more out of that. That's it there. That one seems okay. Maybe a bit more out of this one. And a little bit out of this one. That's sitting pretty good. Now, make sure it's going to sit straight. Okay, so now it's time to push the claws over the stone. You may have noticed the aldite sat there on the desk. Sometimes use aldite to hold the stone in place till you get a chance to push the claws over. Because an opal, unlike a faceted stone, is rounded underneath, it has a tendency to bobble up. So as you push that claw down, it'll pop up the other side. You push that one down, it pops up the other side. I try very hard never to use araldite because if you've got the stone set there in araldite, it's hardened, and you push on the claw and the stone doesn't pop up, then there's a chance that you will break the stone because you don't know how much pressure you're putting on it. With this, I know how much pressure I'm putting on the stone, because if I put too much pressure on, it'll just slide up the other side, just like that, or like that. So, try not to use araldite. Sometimes it's unavoidable because of the setting. Sometimes it's just, especially with bezel set opals, just to try and get them seated exactly where you want it without moving. If it moves, there's a chance you can slip and then break the stone anyway. So, figure out which way this is going in. Get it down there, that's right, okay. A little trick. Don't want to damage the ring. I'm going to be pushing that way. I don't want to damage any part underneath here with hard metal. So these little discs you can buy in a arts and crafts store. This one I stole off my granddaughter. All it is a little piece of foam, I guess. You peel the backing off, which makes it sticky, then you can stick that onto there. That way that, when it's underneath there, is not going to damage any part of the underrail of the ring. Now to start with, let's try and get the stone straight, alright, and then we just gently squeeze the claws in from one side to the other, going around the stone until the claws come in contact with the stone. If you push too hard, it will push the stone out of the way, so you have to be careful not to do that. But slowly squeeze the claws in. The claws are coming in, as you can see there. Try and come in a bit further. There you go. Right. Okay. We've got the claws pushed in on the side. The stone is going to sit quite nicely in there. Now we push the claws over the top. Now we don't push straight down onto the stone. We roll the claw over. So it's more of a push motion that way, not push down. One corner, opposite corner. You don't push all the way down because you have to make sure that it's going to sit straight. And it's fairly straight there. It needs to go that way slightly. So we'll push this down just a little bit. Okay, pretty good. Up a little bit high that way, so this claw here needs to come back out a bit. Add a bit more in there, and we'll get this claw here down, then rolling over. That's nice there. Do a little bit on that one. Come back to these. Push over. Push over. tight. And very tight. Okay. Now, use flat tires just to straighten the claws up a bit so that they look even. Down to there. Also, pushing the claw that way, because the stone's wider, will actually tighten it up just a little bit more as well. Last little bit on top. And then I'll show you what that little blue wheel does. Right, now, you can see the claws still need to be straightened up a bit, and they're a bit sharp on the edges so they'll catch on everything. This wheel will not damage an Opal at all, but will remove some of the gold and smooth it over so that it won't catch on any clothing. To prove that it doesn't hurt the stone, I will put it onto the stone. You're just going to rub it around like that. Just take that sharp edge off. There we have the stone set. That looks a bit neater. Now we will do the resize.